tested. We bringing all the answers you requested. You guessed it, it's unrested. Teaching streets and Japanese lessons.
Hey guys, welcome back to another FAQ. For this one I'm going to try something a little bit different, a little bit instructional, okay? Today I'm going to talk about some arts and crafts in Japan, okay? Now, today our first art and craft that I'm going to do and show you how I'm going to do it is about hankos. Now, what's a hanko? Some of you probably already know, but this is actually something really important that you're going to need yourself when you come to Japan. When you deal with official documents in Japan, unlike the States, we don't sign our name at the end. Sometimes you do, and sometimes you initial stuff, but for the most part, you're going to have a stamp with your name, usually written in katakana if we're gaijin, okay? For the Japanese, it's going to be in kanji, and it's usually the kanji that they've been given for their name at birth. Let me tell you a little bit about what goes into this. First of all, the hanko is usually a square or circle-shaped piece of stone or marble, sometimes wood as well, okay? Here's an example of what one would look like, okay? At the bottom you would have your place that you would put your name. You would then have a little thing full of ink. You dip it in, stamp, and that's your official seal, and that signs papers and official documents for you. Maybe if you are closing on an apartment, opening a bank account, getting a cell phone, important things like that, that's when this is going to be used. So obviously it's something very vital. Now today, we're going to talk about how to make your own. So when someone first creates a hanko, they have a bunch of different mediums to work with. Like I showed you, we have stone, there's wood, you can also do rubber, okay? Today we're going to go ahead and use a pretty big hanko. It's actually going to be this size. And some of the examples that they've already shown us here are people's names or symbols or little pictures associated maybe with someone's name or the idea that's already imprinted on the hanko. What we're going to do today is the Year of the Tiger, because this year in Japan it's the Year of the Tiger, and I'm actually going to be creating a print that I'm going to put on New Year's cards that I'm going to send everyone back in the States. Something, unique and, creative. A little more interesting than just sending your average New Year's card. So I'm going to be using this one, and I'm going to be using a little bit of a toolkit, okay? We've got carving tools just like this, okay? Open it up here, show you. Alright, we got little different carving tools, and I've got a whole pack of carving tools right here as well, okay? You can see they're all different edges and blades. It's almost kind of looks like the same kind of carving tools you'd use either with a zinc print plate or possibly even clay as well. And these can carve into the rubber and allow me to make a print. But before I do that, I'm going to first sketch it out on this piece of paper, overlay it on the rubber, and kind of press hard with a pencil, scribble on the back so it prints out the picture on my rubber that I can then carve. But it's still going to be an original creation. Okay, so I'm going to start out with a very soft lead pencil. This is going to be a B2. I'm going to go ahead and use that, and I would suggest using a really soft one because what you're going to do is you're actually going to press it down and scribble over the top to try and press the image down on the piece of rubber or stone that you're working with. So the softer the lead, probably the better. Anything HB or softer is kind of probably the best. I would not suggest going with H-level pencils. So let's begin. Time to start sketching. Okay, so I'm done drawing my little sketch of a tiger, and I drew my first one here. I don't know how well you can see it. There it is. Wasn't too happy with that one. So I drew my next one. I made it a little more simple so it'd be a little bit easier to carve, because you got to remember you're carving into rubber here, and that's not exactly the easiest thing to do. So I made this one, but I thought, I don't like how it looks like it's smiling, and I don't like how it kind of looks like a wolf. So, wasn't too happy with that. Came up with this. Definitely looks like a tiger. Really happy with my final design. I'm going to put this in there. So, let's scribble it on, and then we're going to do some carving. Okay, so we got our carving tools here. They're all different shapes, and you can see Some have different edges, like this one right here. I don't know if you can see, but it's a corner edge. This one has more of a blunt edge that's straight and carves out big chunks. And this final one is pretty much the same as an X-Acto knife. You could actually probably go out and buy an X-Acto knife and it would carve the same way when it comes to the rubber Hanko. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and take our piece of rubber right here that I just drew on, and we're going to start carving into it. Got to be careful, got to be precise, and hopefully you didn't draw too tiny a lines. Okay, so probably about an hour and a half later, I'm done now. I've got the whole thing carved out. Now what I did is, to see how much I've carved out, I put a layer of ink on it so that I can see the spots that weren't carved out correctly, or maybe something I forgot. Let me show you what it looks like though, okay? It's got the ink on it, but that's what it looks like. That's my final piece. And you can see it looks just like, pretty much like my drawing. Right now we're going to stamp it down. Okay, try not to get any ink on myself. And here is our final piece. Okay, came out pretty decent, I'd have to say. I don't know how well you can see it there on the camera, but it pretty much came out exactly how I drew. And I'm pretty happy with it. The thing that really adds the artistic side to it is the fact that it doesn't lay completely straight as a medium. It doesn't cover all parts equally. You have parts where it's doused in the ink and other parts where it's come off in patterns, and that's kind of the beauty behind the art of stamp making. And that's just something that's going to come with however you stamp it. Nothing's going to be the same when you make it, and that's something that's really neat, really creative, and something I really enjoy about this kind of art. Pretty much you can go out and do this yourself. You don't have to have the whole kit. You can go get a big piece of rubber, okay, probably at an industrial store. Maybe some art stores have it in America, or maybe just buy a giant eraser. Carve into it with an X-Acto knife, or maybe clay tools if you get your hands on those, and you're going to end up with the same results. Buy some ink, dip it in, you've got yourself a Hanko. Okay, so for the other arts and crafts I wanted to show you, something that's very unique to Japan is models, okay, of famous castles here in Japan. Okay, this one right here is Nagoya Castle. Okay, it's a model kit right here, and these are not snapped together like a Gundam is. This is actually going to be something that you're going to, of course, get in the plastic frames just like this. Okay, and you're going to have to buy yourself a little bit of model glue to put these together. A couple other tools that I always bring along is some clippers, okay, definitely an X-Acto knife, and a sander, because you want to smooth out those edges. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this apart, clip it out, and show you what it looks like. One thing I always make sure to do is make my edges very nice and fine so that pieces always stick flush. So our final results are this, okay. I think it came out looking pretty nice. I'm pretty happy. You can't see any glue around the edges or anything like that. I actually took the time to add a little bit more detail. I put the gold on the fishes at the top and added some gold leaf on the inside of the windows here, just to give it a little more pizzazz, okay. Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty nice little replica. I think maybe later I might stencil in some of the stones here if I have a lot of time on my hands, which I don't recently, so that'll probably be a project for later down the line. But you can pretty much take the detail as far as you want to go with these. Some people go out and they actually buy the fake grass or fake trees, and you just put some glue on it and then just sprinkle it on there, and it'll actually give it the effect of like moss growing on the bottom. So it's pretty much as far as you want to take it with that art. I'm pretty much done for today. This took me a little bit to do, probably about 3 hours maybe, over 2 days. I only got a little bit of time to mess with that thing. But I'm pretty happy with the results. I can add it to my collection of models, and it's a little reminder of Nagoya Castle. Well guys, that's it for today for Arts and Crafts. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions about any things you saw today, as always, write me an email and I'll be happy to answer it. It's been taking me a while to get these videos out to you because I am crazy busy, as I've said before recently. Come December, after December 16th, I'm going to have a lot of time off, and you're once again going to see a video almost every day, I promise you. But for now, I'm lucky to get one video out a week. Good news is, tomorrow I travel to Tokyo, and I'll be taking the Shinkansen there for the first time, so I'm going to go ahead and videotape some of that to show you guys about the bullet train, or Shinkansen as they call it in Japan. I'll also possibly, I hope, be meeting up with Betamax DC, the long-lost Betamax DC. Some of you might have remembered him from ages ago as a very epic J-vlogger who is sadly missed in the J-vlogger community. But hopefully we can meet up, and I'm going to try and get some video of that too, record some stuff of Tokyo for you, because I've had a million freaking emails about Tokyo. I'll try my best, but remember, I do live in Osaka, so I only have 2 days to get all the video I possibly can from Tokyo and show you. Till next time, I'm Unrested. This is JFAQ. Peace!